And Odegaard said they basically use this as a template to next time we play against Porto, how are we going to angle it? And it's 30 odd fouls. The ball was inside the play for 50 minutes. That's almost half of the time the ball was outside play. Literally, we should have had 45 minutes extra time added. Madness.
Yeah, I think it's a massive thing for us. The supporters, you know, what they're doing. As you said, the difference from when I first came here and to now, you know, we're doing this together, and I think that's what's so special. And I feel like every time we go out there now, we have, you know, that extra gear, that extra boost, you know, coming from the fans.
Now, Porto is still unbeaten in 4 matches after they beat us. They're still unbeaten. And one of those wins are a 5-0 victory against Benfica. So you know Porto is in peak form right now. Porto is on fire. So after they beat us, they're still unbeaten in 4 matches after. And there's one particular player I want to make mention to. I'm wary of this guy. And it's Galeno. He's the one that scored against us. Galeno is a top quality player. The finish that he done against us was superb. It was sublime. And we see that in one of those matches against Benfica, he scored twice. Even though he didn't play one of those matches, he still scored 4 goals in 3 matches. Can you believe it? 2 goals against Benfica. So he's on form. So if anyone that we should be worried about is this guy. Ivan Sol as well, their striker. We should keep tabs on him. We should keep an eye on him. But one player that I'm wary of is Galeno. Because with that strike, with that foot he has on him, he can be scoring from anywhere. So we have to keep an eye on him. So this is the team I believe Arteta would be setting up to play against Porto, but I would possibly change only one player in this fixture, and it's Leandro Trossard for Gabriel Jesus. I will bring Jesus in for Trossard because you see that Jesus has basically a knack for scoring in the Champions League. He has a knack for turning up in big matches in the Champions League, that is. So I would give Jesus a start over Trossard, bring Trossard on, depending on how things go, but everything would stay the same apart from Trossard for Gabriel J. And we see that Arteta saying in his press conference that there's a possibility that Tomiyasu might play. So let's wait and see. Because I would start Kivio. I wouldn't change nothing in the back line. Benjamin has to stay, right? The way he's been playing, he's on fire. He has to stay. Kivio, I would keep as well. But then in the second half, if we're not getting any joy, if we're not scoring, then who knows? Perhaps Arteta might switch things up. But let's see how it goes. But that would be my predicted formation. So Odegaard had a few things to say in the press conference, and we're going to take a listen in.
Just reflecting on the weekend, it's a really good weekend for Arsenal. You're top of the league. How much confidence do you take from that going into tomorrow night?
I think we take a lot of good things from that game. I think it was a really good practice for this game coming up. I think we had to deal with a lot of different situations, a lot of time wasting, and we had to control our emotions the whole game, and I think we did that brilliantly. So I think it was a really good practice for another big game, and we did really well, and as you say, top of the table. So of course we have to build on that momentum and the good feeling we have at the moment. So that's the goal, to keep that going.
Well, a few things we noticed there. Every Arsenal fan that was watching that match, you can't tell me that you wasn't upset with the referee. If you said that you were upset with the referee, you're a liar. If you're saying you weren't cussing how shambles Europe is in terms of how flimsy, how weak they are, in terms of how diabolical they are in terms of their decisions, the referee I'm talking about, not to mention the players, diving all over the place, rolling over the floor like some little babies. You touch them like little, man, it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking. And to be fair, Odegaard said they kept composure. They kept their heads. And that's true. I have to give Arsenal that. Because I wasn't saying that after the match. Obviously, I was a bit angry. But when I calmed down, started to think about it, they actually showed a lot of restraint considering how these guys were acting. And you can remember Xhaka as well. You can remember if that was Xhaka. Oh my God. Xhaka would have had a red card. Trust me, he would have had a red card. So, all things considered, these guys, they played well in terms of temperament. They controlled their temper, their anger. So good on them.
Premier League, the outside noise seems to be focused on Liverpool and Manchester City. With the Champions League, it seems to be focused on City and Real Madrid. Does that suit you and Arsenal?
Sorry, can you repeat that again? Sorry.
So the outside noise seems to be focused on Liverpool and City predominantly as far as the Premier League is concerned, and City and Real Madrid to a certain extent with the Champions League. Does it suit you maybe going under the radar a little bit?
Yeah, to be honest, I don't know if that's the case. I haven't thought about it that way, but I think all the big teams, they play with so much pressure. I think when you play in the biggest league like we do at the moment, there's always big pressure and you have to deal with it. It's the same for Champions League, the biggest tournament, you know. So playing big games, playing in a big team, there's always a lot of pressure and you have to deal with it. It's just a part of football, and I think we're all so used to that now. So yeah, it's just a part of the game, and we enjoy that pressure as well, you know.
Well, that's a good reply from Odegaard, because I've been saying that. Listen, a few guys have been saying, "What you must be chuffed, you're on top of the league," and I'm said it's a mixed feelings, mixed emotion, because I don't think we were able to cope with the pressure on top of the league last season. We didn't cope with it, and I'm not sure if we're ready yet. But time will tell if we're actually ready, and if we can go out through the end of the season, stay on top, and not slip up, then I could say for sure going on in future season that we are basically at that level as a big team right now, because we can keep pace with the big boys coming from behind, chasing us, and we're keeping pace, not focusing on them, but keeping to our own game plan, and we overcome. So if we can do that, then I would say that we are there. We're not getting there, we are there. We are one of the biggest clubs in the world right now, if not the biggest, because if you beat City to the Premier League and City won Champions League, well, I know it's not always that simple, but it kind of is. As well as if we win the Champions League, man, let's not even go there.
So close last season. What feels different this time around? What do you think you've learned?
I think first of all we're a better team. Of course, we've made some good signings, but also the experience, what we learned last season. I think we've been using that in a good way going into this season, and I feel like I've said that many times. You know, I feel like that's what we've done the last few years. Missing out of the Champions League the year before, we came back stronger, and then last season obviously was a really tough end for all of us. But I think we've learned a good lesson, and hopefully now coming towards the end of the season we can show that and use it in a good way.
Just the final one.
Yeah, nice one, Odegaard.
That Porto game away from home just seems to stand out compared to everything else that has happened since the FA Cup tie against Liverpool. What do you feel you need to do differently? What went wrong there compared to your league form?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it a little bit already after the game, but we didn't play our best game. We weren't good enough on the ball, and we've looked at all those things, and straight after the game, I think all the players, we just spoke together and knew what we had to do different already. But yeah, as you say, it's the only game we didn't win now in this year, so I think that's enough motivation, you know, to come back and show a different side tomorrow. So we're all really, really ready for the game and hyped up, so it's going to be a good one.
A few things to unpack there. First of all, he said that all the boys spoke after the match and say that, listen, this wasn't good enough and we know how to get better next time. And then they all was heads up. And we could tell, because I was saying after that match, let's see how they're going to handle that defeat in the Premier League. Are we going to transfer over that feeling that into the Premier League? And we didn't, right? So perhaps they really did learn their lesson from that match. And I'm expecting a fireworks. Arteta was saying that, listen, it's going to be brilliant. The atmosphere is going to be brilliant. So even Arteta learned from that match. So I expect fireworks to be going off in that match tomorrow, man. I'm going to be having my popcorn ready to thrash these guys, because I know Arsenal, the team is coming with revenge. They're coming with blood in their eyes. They're looking to kill. They're looking to dominate. They're looking to rule. Man, I can't wait, because I know these guys. I told you about the pettiness of my team, which I love. Expect it. You know what Odegaard said? The only loss we've had this year. They are watching that. They are watching that. Man, trust me, they're going to come with revenge.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Right, Martin, do you think after what happened in the way the team lost in Porto, that there's something to prove almost tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, every time you play, you want to prove something. I think, as you say, especially after what happened there, and if you compare that game to the other games we played recently, is, as you say, the one that stands out. But as I said, I think the feeling after the game was that we weren't good enough ourselves, and that's a good thing. We can change ourselves, and that's what we're going to try to do tomorrow. You know, we've looked at the game we played there. we all have the feeling what we have to do different. So we have that very clear, and yeah, we are so ready.
Most of the team that will be involved tomorrow night won't remember when Arsenal last got to the quarterfinals. Is there a bit of a weight of history on you guys, or do you have to forget about what's gone in the past?
I think you can't think too much about the past, but obviously you want to keep building your own history, and we want to do some amazing things with this team, and that's our goal, that's our focus, to focus on us at the moment, and as you say, it's something really nice to play for, to go through in this tournament, you know. It's a big goal and a big dream, I think, for all the players playing in football today, you know, to go far in this competition. So yeah, that's a massive motivation for all of us, and that's what we're playing for.
James?
Cheers.
Hi, Martin.
Hello.
There were 36 fouls in the first game, which is the most that's been
30 odd fouls. The ball was inside the play for 50 minutes. That's almost half of the time the ball was outside play. Literally, we should have had 45 minutes extra time added. Madness.
that kind of gamemanship a little bit better if it happens again tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. I think, as you say, you know, there's so many different things going on in each game, and yeah, this game was one where the ball was out of play a lot, and a lot of stops and starts and restarts and all this. And I think you saw that also against Brentford. You know, it was a similar game, and as I said in the beginning here, I think we dealt with it in a brilliant way, and yeah, as I said, I think that was a good practice, you know, and I think we already showed in that game what we learned in Porto. So hopefully we can do that even better tomorrow. And first of all, we want to play our game, you know. We don't want to focus too much about them and what they are doing, but we want to play our game, and that's the main thing.
Now, this is why I love to watch the pre-match and the post-match from the players and the manager, because they give away nuggets. If you listen good enough, they give away nuggets. Now, Odegaard is saying that, listen, the way with Brentford is playing was similar to how Porto played. And it's the way they tried to slow things down. It's the way they tried to drag things out. It's the way they tried to slow our game down initially. And Odegaard said they basically use this as a template to next time we play against Porto, how we're going to handle it. And it's a good thing that we did play against Porto when we did, unless we wouldn't have understood or basically were prepared for Brentford to play the way they did, because the way they played is effective. We had so much control over the game, but we couldn't score enough goals, and we conceded, even albeit it's a mistake by Ramsdale. It doesn't matter, we still conceded. And Porto prepared us for Brentford. Now Brentford is preparing us for Porto in return. Man, you love the cycle, don't you?
Jordan?
Hi Martin. When you made your big move at a very young age, it was expected that you'd be playing Champions League knockouts, you know, forever almost. Can I just ask you, during those years where you were on loan and not playing away from Real Madrid and far away from that stage, you know, how far away did it feel for you? And did you always believe you would get back there?
Yeah, I always believed that I was gonna make it, if you can say it that way, but to play big games and Champions League, you know, in the biggest leagues and all that, I always had that belief. But I think football is just doesn't always go as you expect. Of course, when I signed for Madrid, the plan was not to go on loan in the Netherlands or in Spain or whatever, but that's football and that's life. Something happens and you have to deal with it, and I think that's what I've done well, you know. On my road, I've just dealt with everything that happened to me and worked hard and found my way, you know. So yeah, I think it's all a part of your journey and you have to deal with it, and I think all the things that happened to me made me stronger and a better player and a person today.
I just wanted to ask you about the level of responsibility that the manager gives you. Since January, you know, yourself, White, Saka, looks like things have just clicked, but how much is he giving you responsibility on the pitch?
I think he's given all of us that responsibility, you know. I think he wants us to play with that feeling that we can, you know, do whatever we feel is right. Of course, he's giving us all the instructions and the game plan and all the tactical things, but in the end, we're on the pitch, and he wants us to make the decisions. He can't do that on the pitch, so I think that's something we all do, you know. When we're on the pitch, we want to take that responsibility and make sure we do the right things. But yeah, of course, as a captain, I try to do that even more, and yeah, to always help the team to make the right calls on the pitch and, read the game and live the game in the right way, you know.
I just wanted to quickly ask you about a picture on social media that's going around. There's a whiteboard with all the Arsenal players saying
I don't really know what that is now.
I don't know. It was going around. I just wanted to know whether that
Yeah,
was something
yeah, no,
you
okay.
wanted
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Kaya,
Okay, no
should we go
problem.
to you?
Hang on a second. Obviously, our club for many years with a fantastic history of this competition in Real Madrid. Just wonder, being around that, what did you learn? And now that you're the one playing in these knockout games and deciding these knockout games, does it sort of make you feel a bit like you've got unfinished business in this competition, like you want to put something right?
Yeah, first of all, I didn't play too many games with Madrid, you know, in the Champions League, but I played a few, and at the moment, as I said, we're playing for so much, you know, so yeah, it's basically the same for every game, you know. It's always a big game now, and that's our mindset. We want to, every game we play, we want to win, and that's the mindset, and tomorrow is the same. Thank
Simon?
you.
When we heard from Mikel after the first leg, he spoke about a few things about not being aggressive enough with the ball and things you didn't do. Is it important tomorrow that when you come off the pitch, you don't have any regrets about the way you play?
Yeah, of course. I think that was one of the things we spoke about straight away after the game as well. You know, the intentions we had with the ball, and yeah, we didn't. I don't know. I don't think we had a shot on target or something in that game. So yeah, it was not really our game, our football. So that's what we want to change tomorrow. You know, and yeah, we know all the qualities we have. We know how good we are when we play on our best, and that's what we're gonna try to do tomorrow. You know. Again, I think it will be an amazing atmosphere. I think it will be a beautiful night. So hopefully we can do that.
Yeah, just on the atmosphere, how have you noticed it shift from when you were first here to now? And do you feel it's become a more intimidating place for teams to come and more of a fortress for you?
Yeah, I think it's a massive thing for us. The supporters, you know, what they're doing. As you said, the difference from when I first came here and to now, you know, we're doing this together, and I think that's what's so special. And I feel like every time we go out there now, we have, you know, that extra gear, that extra boost, you know, coming from the fans. If you're a bit tired and you get that, you feel better straight away, you know. So yeah, they're helping us so much, and I'm sure tomorrow they're going to be on fire again. So can't wait.
Just lastly, the Arsenal in terms of Europe haven't won a major European trophy. For you as players, do you see that as something exciting that you know you have that opportunity to make history rather than thinking, you know, the pressure no one's ever done this before?
Yeah, I mean, as I said before, we have to focus on ourselves, and we have to focus on what we can do and the history we can do, you know. So that's our goal. We're Arsenal. We want to win trophies, and we want to fight at the biggest stage and play the biggest game. So yeah, tomorrow is a great chance to show that.
Okay, last two on this side. So Isan first, and then we'll come across.
Hi Martin. A couple of weeks ago, Mikel made a joke about pinching players in training to teach them the dark arts. Ahead of the Porto game, I'm sure it would be a very feisty encounter. What kind of things have you done to prepare for the dark arts kind of thing of the game?
I think it's just a part of football. You know, you have to deal with a lot of different things. You play.
Hold on. Sorry, Odegaard. Let me cut you there. Now, what you said about the dark arts is very important, because we see that over the past couple of seasons, throughout history in football, it's not always the team that plays the best football wins the competition or wins the trophy. Sometimes it's about the team that does the dark arts, as you would say. We see Sergio Ramos very good at that. Pepe very good at that. Most of the times is experienced players. And what do you know? Arsenal haven't got any experienced players. Well, that experience of a team to understand the dark arts of winning certain matches, certain difficult matches, how to play in certain situations. We haven't got all our players are basically, they're green, they're fresh, they're young. However, we've got a young manager, which is an old player, which is an experienced player. And Arteta is one of those guys. He's very, very petty, as I said before, many times. And because he's petty, he sees things different. He wants to get the edge in everywhere. This is where we got a set piece coach from Man City, because he wants the edge in everything. This guy is the same guy that brought speakers on the pitch to play Liverpool theme song to get the players fired up, to understand the level of... Now, some people may criticize it, some people will understand. However, it's the fact that he's trying to prepare. So I'm saying that don't believe that Arteta isn't seeking tweaking, trying to find ways to get an edge over Porto by using some dark arts. We see that he used Xhaka when Xhaka was there to play a specific role. I see Havertz doing the same thing. Havertz do a lot of technical fouls and he doesn't get carded for it because Arteta is using that dark arts. So let's see what we're in for tomorrow in terms of the dark arts in football.
Against different teams that approach in a different way, and it's not like we've done anything crazy. We're just preparing for the games we play, and that's all. And yeah, as I said before, the main thing is to focus on ourselves, to focus on all the things we can do, all the things we can control, and that's what we're going to try and do tomorrow, and hopefully be a good night then.
So, Porto centre back Pepe, he's 41, the same age as your boss Mikel. What does he bring to the table, and what's he like to play against on the pitch? From the stand, he does seem to be quite aggressive, kind of forthright. What's he like to play?
Yeah, I think I have so much respect for him. You know, I played with him a bit in Madrid as well, and I know him from that time. So he's a great guy, and what he's doing now, you know, at that age is a lot of respect to him to be able to keep going like that. So great player, aggressive, strong in the duels, and great defender. So he's a good player, and fair play to him for keeping it going so long.
So we just heard from Odegaard, and we see Thomas is back in training. We see certain things happening, and I, for one, am excited. I, for one, am happy. I want to see us basically starting out fast out the blocks, no lingering, no waiting, just get on it, just get on it from minute 0, from minute 1, from minute 5, 10, 15, dominate the game, control the game, dictate the game. Let them play at our pace, let them play at our level. Don't even get them a sniff at the ball. The only sniff they'll be having at the ball is to take it out the back of their net. That's the only time they should have a sniff. So my prediction for this match, I'm expecting a nice win, which is a 3-0 or a 4-1. That's my say. 3-0 or 4-1 against Porto. So that's my prediction, that's my lineup, that's my thoughts on the match. Make sure you like, subscribe and share. Help me on my journey to 1,000 subs. Let me know in the comments, let me know your thoughts, let me know your prediction, let me know what you think. Are you nervous? Are you just relaxed because you know we're going to smash them to smithereens? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box below. Catch you in the next one, guys. Goodbye.